Greater light, greater light. Let's get this party started right.
Hey everybody.
Y'all want this party started quickly. Look, 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 look. I got a guess. I got a guess. I got a guess. Oh, he's more than a guest, but we gonna since this first time coming up live with me. Um, I'm gonna do my norm, and then I'm gonna introduce. Y'all have heard me talk about Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, Mr.
Right.
Smith. All right,
Hey
so here we
everybody.
go. You gonna introduce yourself, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do my
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm An- I'm Antoine Smith. I'm Abigail's um I'm someone Abigail know. So we're going live tonight and try to have a good time, everybody. You know, enjoy ourselves.
Mm-mm. Yeah, just when I was about to give up on going live, I've been in somebody chat. I've been in chats all day long because I was like, you know what? I got 30 days left before I go stand in front of the courts in Miami. So I might as well just enjoy being in people chat. It don't matter about me going live no more. Y'all know that. I ain't been going live really. I think the last time I did a live was last week sometime. I don't know. It was a few days ago. But anyways, my mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain
Amen.
symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm because I know God has provided the perfect solution to every single one of my needs. You can say amen. What you say?
I say amen.
You say amen. Some of you say God.
Mhm.
I say God. You promise. Some people say la. Some say shamalama. Some say amun. I say God is keeping His promises to me. Now, what's the topic?
Well, I'm not sure. I really don't have an idea. I mean, we could talk about anything. Whatever's under the sun. There's nothing under the sun. So whatever touches our heart, we'll speak on. So yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Whichever.
That phrase you just made, that old ancient phrase that everybody use. What is that? What does that mean to you when you say it? What actually comes to mind?
There's
There's
nothing
nothing
new
new
under the
under.
sun. I mean, there's this like human nature is redundant. You constantly repeat the same things. You know, you may do it a different fashion. There may be a bit of originality, some innovation, but we tend to commit the same good acts or the same bad ones.
Yeah.
Time is generally the same thing moving forward. So, you know, there's nothing new. We can talk about love, we can talk about relationships, we can talk about society, we can talk about politics, we can talk about the earth, we can talk about nature, we can talk about whatever, because it's generally all gonna be the same thing in essence, you know. Fundamentally, some things never do differ from what they are. You know, that's all facts. So that's what we're gonna talk about. The facts.
All right. Well, bring on the facts then. You can
I
take a
mean, that's
lead.
what it's about, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't know. Like,
Just
what's happening in today's society? Like, what's the we talk about Donald Trump and his shenanigans, how you know he's sort of a clown in relation to our nation, right? I mean, a lot of people say that he's a party animal, right?
I don't know what he is. I don't know what
You
he
don't
is,
know.
but he is.
You
He
haven't
got a
paid any
lot of
attention to that,
he got a lot of shenanigans going on lately. You know how I am. I pay attention to everything. You know it's what
right?
for 2 years, about a year and a half. You know how I think, but lately I have been paying him too much attention. The last thing I seen is that he's sending over missiles to Iran. But I think
Oh,
they
that's
gonna,
dangerous.
yeah,
That's dangerous.
they join it. But see, over there is wars and rumors of wars. And while they saying they doing that, people still taking vacations, people still going over there for tourism, you
Right,
know.
right,
So, it's like, is it happening? Is it really happening? Is it just the media? You know, some of the people over there, and
well,
they streams saying they getting bombed in that area, right? But they
right.
still
Licking
going
that happen.
live.
Licking, but that's what it's about. One, I mean, money. War fuels money. Money. War fuels businesses. War fuels financial situations. Well, a good percentage of our money that we make as Americans has been based on warfare, even from Civil War to World War I, World War II. A lot of the money that we made was all based on warfare. It was all a big business. So I mean, of course, I mean they're gonna give them things, but in that very instant, they can turn around and do what? Steal, start going to destroying stuff, stealing gold, stealing oil, stealing stuff like that, and bringing it back. And then at the same time, opening up our doors to these foreign people that are refugees and offering them jobs, giving them promotions, or incentives, or whatever sort of kind of boost they need, 10,000, 30,000 to start a business when they get here, and they feel as though they're doing better now that they're Americans, and they turn on their own people, and yet we still go over there and do what we want to do. So I mean, it's all a business. A lot of what we deal is based on cash and flowing of cash. So but within the right perspective and applied the correct way, you kind of step out of the game into a thing that doesn't really erase your mind, your mental faculty in a way. Because at this point in time, most of what we deal with as it being a game depletes our mental faculty, our mental capacity to survive. And a lot of what we see is based on like stuff like that, even little small stuff like Donald Trump sending goddamn weapons to Iran and stuff. It's a blockade for you to really not really wake up spiritually and realize where you're headed. So you kind of
Mhm.
have to you kind of have to think about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least that's my perspective. Now I could be totally wrong about that. I may just be far out. Well,
If we could be far
that's my
out,
idea.
far in at the end of it all, you know, we don't see these
Right.
people, and we only hear of them.
Always,
That's why it's
always.
called, for those like me, rumors of wars. It's just a rumor, because at the end of
But
it,
why?
like you said, because of the money that it funnels, because it's part of media, it's part of the media production. The one of the greatest wars that caused the supposedly most genocide is the Hitler, the German war, that war, and that
Right.
was based on media. It was the activation of being able to put war in the media, and
Yeah, I mean,
that's how most or the majority of the money was funneled. So without the
it's it's
media, go ahead.
it's entertainment. It's
Right.
entertainment, and it's pleasurable to notice. Some people feed out the pleasure of destruction, or watching things happen like that, or people being harmed, or conflict, and it fuels their need to do things. So within a very very minute dosage, it gives them a high dose,
Yeah.
and it influences them to talk, and talking influences them to do, and doing influences them to spend money, and it increases morale amongst people, and then we invest in things that are even very small things like computers or whatever that we feel is supported to our cause as American people. So that happens. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, it's sort of broad and generalized, but that's how I feel.
Let me get my face. Let me get my face up here, and go ahead. You go ahead. Go
Why?
ahead. There we go. There you go.
No,
Because
you take your faith.
I'm teasing too much. I'm listening to you, but I'm feeling some type of way right now. I'm feeling some type of
Okay, okay, okay.
way. uh, Go ahead.
Well, yeah, that's basically how I feel about that.
Mm,
That you know, to the most part, especially that our country's in debt. And a lot of that wars will kind of keep you deflected to the fact that you have a problem internally. And then
Okay.
people's nature is to lash out when they feel like they're not guilty of, or there's some sort of void in their life that they can always go out and conquer the next thing.
Right.
That's life. That's a deficiency emotionally and psychologically, but a lot of what our lifestyles are based on are psycho emotional issues. So we do that a lot. You know what I mean? But of course, I mean, hey, they say love and war are synonymous to one another. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's money's earthly. Emotions aren't somewhat, but there has to be a place for it to go. And money and supplying the money and material gain, a pragmatic sort of lifestyle provides that sort of setting for you to deal with emotion in a way, and substitute something that's pure and natural with something material. So we deal with that.
Now let me ask you. You mentioned that we are in debt. We only think we're in debt. They say
You
that,
don't
but
think
are
so?
we really? Is the country really
I
in debt?
mean, no one's done anything about it, so it's kind of hard to say that we are, right? I mean, when you owe somebody some money, they come in for their money, right or wrong.
Right, but
And ain't
they
nobody
don't
jump, ain't nobody jumping at us yet. Ain't nobody jumping at us about having owing
exactly.
anything to anyone. So I
And,
guess maybe that's just something to say. Maybe just
uh,
talk, small talk. But see, we thugs over here. We thugged out in America. So if we really owe you something, we gonna buck you anyway. We bucking. We ain't giving a damn. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna do nothing because y'all don't want no problems. We like that. Americans are like that. So you know what I'm saying? We thugged
so
out.
you
So
sound
yeah,
like you
I
you
can
sound
say
like you proud
yeah,
to
we
be an
owe some people.
American.
I am. I'm proud
And
to be
you
in
just
America, but
said you was African though. Which one are you? You American or you
I guess I'm gonna say I'm an African American. But yeah, of course. I mean, it's just a thug. It's the thug in me. It's the thug in Americans. We had that go getter brash mentality that okay, even if we do have a problem, you don't want no problem, right? That's Americans, right? Of course. I mean, we've all had that feeling before. I'm pretty sure as an American, you felt the boldest and strongest way you could probably feel about
Mhm.
anything towards anyone. That's
Mhm.
America, you know.
Mhm. I'm not American. I don't claim none of that. I don't claim
So
no
what are you Middle Eastern? You're Iranian. What are you Indian? I can see you as you're Indian. You're Indian.
Uh, if I claim anything based on flagship, because everything that people claim is based on a flag. Claiming American is based on flagship, not on the land. Claiming any country is based on flagship. So if I claim any flagship, it would be the ones that I know that my ancestors that I was able to see are under, and that's the Bahamian flag. So the flag with the pyramid and the ocean and the sun ray. That's what I would claim. But
So I
hold up.
mean,
But hold up. But then growing up, my grandma would always say, "Well, you're not Bahamian. You are American born, so you an American." So I don't. I really don't really claim any. I I'm a light being, and you know that.
all right.
Ain't no flag on the light, and ain't no land on it.
So you just kind of what they say freelancing. You kind of have your own thing, like your own place, your own world. The world is yours, basically.
No, I'm not of the world.
You're
The,
not
the,
of the world.
I'm
You
not
live in
of
it,
the
but you're
world.
not of it.
I
Okay, so
I
how do
live
you
in
live
it.
in it? How do you live in it and not be of it? How can you live in a place and not be, somewhat a part of what things are? I mean, not to say that you're contained by it or you're restricted within your mind and your freedom spiritually, liberally, but how are you and not of it?
the
Like,
same
how is that?
the same way that you're I don't know if you dream. Some people don't dream, but your dream, your soul or your light being, your astral body is part of this flesh, but then it leaves at a
Right.
particular time when you go to sleep, and it's not
Yeah.
of the flesh. Hold up, it's not of the
Right.
flesh. That's
Okay.
what my being is. It's I'm here in this flesh, but I'm not of the world. I'm
But
not of the
aren't you
world.
here? Aren't
Huh?
you here? Aren't you in your mind? Aren't you still there? Like you're connected
And
to your mind, right?
my mind, when this flesh is asleep, continues to go. So what part of it is sleep or awake or awoken? I'm separate from this entity, and I can separate myself at any time. Once my time is up, the transition requires a separation. But during the time that I am asleep and my astral leaves this plane, I am not a part of this body. And that's what I mean. I'm here in this world right now because of the flesh. The flesh contains me. The flesh is the cell that I'm bound to. But I'm my who what I claim is light. Where my a light will go after this flesh decays and turns into ashes or burns or gets buried under a mango tree, where I choose for it to be, to continue on when this earth is renewed.
Okay, so you're gonna be in heaven when you sleep. You're in heaven.
When I'm no when I'm asleep right now on this plane, I'm in different realms. When I dream and go to that's different spaces, that's not heaven. That's
Oh,
not heaven. Once I disconnect from this body, then I'll be, with the beginning of time, which man has called it heaven and given it a name, and they wrote scriptures about it and ancient and wrote on drew on walls what that place is entitled, but there's no title for it. It's in existence before the foundations of what words man could have even given it. So
right. I agree. Okay. Never really thought about it that way. That's very feasible. You know,
it's a feasible.
feasible is something that is believable.
It's a feasible,
Something that
believable,
is
feasible,
acceptable.
believable.
It's rational. It's rational. It's not irrational. It's there's logic.
Mm,
Something that can be accepted as fact or truth, maybe even law.
mm. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the law to you?
Something that does not change. It doesn't. Depending on what type of law you're talking about. Like if we say law as in the law of the land, we can speak of scientific law. Scientific laws can't be broken. Like, for instance, 1+1 = 2. Or we speak of laws like technology or spiritual law, which are basically rules or guidelines, you know. But most anything that can be brought to a mathematical point is scientific law, which means there's no way to actually break it.
So,
You know, there's no way to actually bend it.
see, okay, all right. So that's what you believe, that scientific law can't be broken, and then you
It
mentioned one
can't.
plus
It
one
can't
is
be broken.
two. But
That's
then,
scientific law. There's no way to break it. There's no
eh,
other
eh,
way
eh,
to see that.
but every day they show that every single uh equation of math is changed or was wrong. And then the more
But
artificial
those are
intelligence
theoretical.
wait, the more the artificial intelligence consciousness expands, they show you where all these equations that man made is not factual, and it's laws that can be broken. And who told you that one is one? Who
I
told you that
my I
that
believe it.
one is
It's
one?
it's Let's get it be one. No matter how, just like you said, expansion. The more you know, the more you realize that there's still one. You just see more of one.
Right,
You see more and more of one.
but that one is not actually the one, like one, because every thing that you could say is one. Okay, here's one piece of paper, right? And you tell me that this piece of paper equals two pieces of paper. But this
Right.
one piece of paper is made up of so many millions and trillions of atoms. How could it just be one? And one plus one ain't, there's no such thing as just one. Man made you say that it's just
Okay,
one.
that's a matter
Man
of
made you,
perception.
huh?
That's a matter of perception. That's a matter of perception. What you're speaking on. That's a matter of
No, it's a
you
matter of
have a.
facts.
It's a matter of perception. You're perceiving things to be greater than what they are. Of course, in the containment of it being consistent of what more than one atoms. Of course, there's more than one atom, so there's more than one atom. But altogether, that makes what one piece of paper. When one thing in one space,
But who
as as
told you
as
it
a
was
whole,
one?
is one. Is one.
Who
Is
told
one.
you
Is
that?
is many. Is many. But within many, there's one.
Who told you
Within many,
that
that's
though?
easy. That's
Where did
easy.
you
Within
learn that
many,
from? That's not easy. That's something man taught you.
that's easy.
No, it's
From
not.
many one. From many one. E pluribus unum. From many there's one.
But there's no such thing as just one.
Of anything, of course. There are multiples of everything. As far as some things, but if you look at if you knew everything within itself, there would only be one. There's only one
If I gave
existence.
you $1,
There's only one
there's
existence.
only one
There's
existence.
never there's only one existence.
So there's no duality.
That's it. There may be multiples within it, but there's only one existence.
But that one
That's it.
existence, why does it have to be one?
Because even if you had two, there would be space,
Why
right?
does it have to be a number
But see,
that
listen,
makes you that what but
within
why
the
does it have to be a
duality,
number to
within the
make you
duality, within the duality, there's space, and when there's space, there has to be what one. You have to
but
have
who
one.
told you that it has to be
You have
one?
to have one. You have to have one. If there's nothing, then there's nothing. But you have to have one
No, you
for
don't
there to
have
be.
to have one.
Yes, you do.
The
Yes, you
man
do.
told you that it has to be one.
I would agree. I think I'm totally adamant about that. I think there just has to be one. You
Because if
can't
I
have
give
two.
you $1, oh, if give you $1 and I told you let me add a change, that ain't one no more. That ain't no dollar. It never was a dollar. It never was
Right.
one. Man made up one. They made up one, and then we
Okay, so
take we
if you break that dollar into what 75 cents or whatever, or 4 quarters, altogether though, that makes what?
four
What does that make?
quarters,
It makes
four
which is what?
4 quarters,
Which is what?
which is what?
$1.
No, then it's
It's
definitely
not
not one
tangible.
dollar anymore. It's not $1.
Mine and the Brits.
It's not one
When
dollar.
you decided that does not
That's a
equate to
thousand
one.
pennies.
1,000 pennies. Okay. No, that's 100 pennies.
Okay, that's 100 pennies.
But all that makes $1,
No, that's a
right?
if it's a
It's just
thousand
something
pennies,
that's
what does
not.
that make?
It's not tangible in the form of being able to touch, as in one form, whole thing. There's multiples, but
Uh-uh.
yet there's one.
That one, if it go all the way down to 1 penny, that 1 penny is still not one. That
How?
penny
Why?
can be
Because
broken down into, when inflation. Okay, let's do the math. How they got us all into the stocks and bonds and math equations when it come to money. They break down the dollar, and the inflation drops in that $1. When it goes all the way down, they break the penny even down to the 0.00000. So there's no such thing as one.
okay, I get what you're saying when you're dealing with 0.0000. but you're only having a percentage of something greater than itself, right?
Right. That does not
But yet
equal one.
that is still one.
It
A
doesn't
percentage
equal one.
is still one number, regardless of what you say. It's still one number. It's a smaller amount versus the value which you have. Like you have so much gold, so this penny is only worth point so much percentage of whatever amount of gold I have, but yet there's still one.
When
You
we talking
cannot
about
defeat.
math,
You
we get this.
cannot defeat. You cannot defeat the omniness of one. It's always going to be one, unless you're talking man and woman, right? But yet and still, we say there's one group of people. There's one.
I
So
don't
there's
see it.
no
I
way.
don't see
There's
where
no
there's
way to
one
get
group of people.
higher than one. There's no way. It's impossible.
There's that's what man told you. It's just one. Huh?
What you and I?
Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
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 But what do we
See, it's
make?
a sound. It's a
Together.
vibration. Oh.
Oh, oh.
Oh.
What is that? I don't know what that
Oh.
is.
I'm telling you, oh. Oh, it don't make
Okay.
one. Oh.
It just make an
Everything
O
is
sound.
sound with who, ha, oh, ho,
Together, you and I are one.
ho,
We're one. Together
ho,
in this live, there's you, there's
ho,
me. We see one thing, right?
ho,
Together.
ho,
And separate from one another, we're in one
ho.
space. You don't want to listen. Okay, okay, okay.
You say this is one.
In one space. It's in one space. Everything is in one
This is
space.
you and this is me.
Right.
This is whole.
Okay.
Whole. That's everything whole.
Whole.
Can never be just one.
It's just whole.
It's whole.
But we're in one space, so that makes us one.
Who said that? It can't be just one.
What is you?
Whole.
Okay. Okay. It's one.
Ho,
You know it's one.
ho, hukanu, ho,
It's one. It's
ho.
one, Abigail.
Okay,
Whole.
don't be calling, don't be saying my name. You know I like the way you say my name. Don't do that online. Don't do that. Don't do that. Ho, ho.
Right. So we're whole. But whole makes us a family, right?
I mean, depending on what your definition of family is.
Of course. Something that whole is a group, is a family. When you bring two
Well,
things together that are
family is
whole,
just
there's
familiars. It don't mean it's part of the whole. It doesn't have to be part of the whole.
so what's a couple? What's a relationship? What's a couple? Whole, right?
Mm, it depends.
We're not talking about infidelity or who's been faithful, who hasn't been faithful.
Oh no, no, my mind went all into like best buddy friends, couples. A couple of
Okay,
like
yeah.
my mind went. You know how I do.
Right. All right. Well, wholeness is oneness. That's the way it is. I'm a firm believer that wholeness is oneness. Is oneness.
Are you one with everybody?
I'm one within a space that contains everything. I'm a part of that one thing.
There's no one thing. It's whole.
And there would still be space. There's no way to have two without space.
But what is
So there's
space?
one. There's
What is space?
space. Space is nothing. Space is intimate. Is
Space
a
is
difference.
everything.
Of
Space
course,
is
I'd agree.
is whole.
I agree. I agree.
Space is what makes the that fills the hole. It's whole. It's the part of the filament of the whole. Everything that that makes up the space in between that allows you to be able to inhale and exhale and light that and get the oxygen to make that light flicker and then for you to blow that smoke out your mouth. The space is what binds everything together in wholeness. Oh my goodness. I know I'm not over here talking about like Savon Bomar old wholeness type mess. I didn't even mean to go there. We'll keep it at one for right now. You the one. That
Okay.
good? We'll leave it like that. We'll leave it like that. Let's keep it at one. I'm not gonna go no further in that discussion. Like it's a debate, because you know it ain't no debate.
No, we're not debating.
I just wanna hear your thoughts.
What
I
do you
really
hear?
appreciate you coming on here live with me.
You do?
Of course I do. Of course I do. How long I've been trying to get you to go live with me? You was ready the other day, but you know what I did.
Yeah, I know what you did.
And you making it up, huh?
Yeah,
Mm,
I think I promised you I'd go live at least once.
Oh, this sound like this must be the last time. This may be
I
the.
never said that would be the last. I never said that, but I know I promised you that. I know I'm. You say I make promises, and I don't be remembering what they is, but I'm pretty sure I promised you this.
Mm, yeah, you did. Hmm. All right. Well, I ain't gonna keep you. I know you had a long day, and you did say you didn't get to, even get out of your work clothes and all that.
Oh, you rush you kicking me off already?
No, I ain't kicking. No. If you ain't
Who
ready to
is it? What
go,
he want? What he watching your live? Who is it? Tell him to call me. My number 689-224-2666. Call me and talk to me about. Let's talk about this thing. Me and him need to have a conversation. We're gonna talk. See what it is he got going on because he can't have you.
you full
He
of it.
can't have you now.
Ain't nobody want me. Believe that. They don't want. They
Yeah,
don't want
right.
old grandma. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody want
Whatever.
grandma.
Whatever. How is that? Maybe if I want you, how I know that ain't nobody. I make good choices. I make good decisions, so I know somebody else wants
Ain't nobody want me.
you. Yeah, right.
They want
Tell
me.
that to boo boo fool. Tell that to who. Tell that to somebody gonna believe it, cause I damn sure ain't.
Uh,
Somebody ain't.
uh,
Tell that to them. Well, we'll be talking a little cheering, cause they believe you. I ain't gonna believe it.
well, I hear you. I hear you.
I know. I ain't tripping.
Huh?
I ain't tripping.
I know you ain't.
I know.
All right.
Tell
What's
him
the
to
next
call
topic?
me.
Hmm?
Um, I don't know. You come up when I came up with the first one. You come up with the next one.
What? I thought I came up with all those.
No, no, that was all me.
And I don't have a topic right now. I don't have. I can't think of nothing right now. I told you how my
Can't think
mind
of
right now. These past couple of days where Bezos forcing me to work and they messing with my um logins and having me days when not being I already done told you what I'm trying to keep myself from like trying to hang in there. because I really
Right.
don't want to accept that mark anyway. I don't want to accept that mark anyway, but I got to follow protocol. So, but we'll see. It should be straight by tomorrow since they have teams that'll be able to on site ready to help for about an hour. So
Okay.
yeah, there you go, yawn. And I see. When I said it's time, I know what I'm talking about. You need to go ahead and get your relaxation on.
Maybe you're right about that.
Mhm. So I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get to
Do
do
you?
this again. Of
Of course
course
we
I do.
will. Of course we
Mhm.
will. We will
It
do
was
this
so
again.
natural too. It's so natural. Mhm.
That's how it's supposed to be. Should just flow. Shouldn't be rough around the edges at all.
uh, all right. Well, talk to you in a few, I guess. I'll go ahead and sign.
Call me soon. Call me.
All right.
All right.
I appreciate you, y'all. Thank you. And this is Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, I guess we'll be hopefully seeing more of in the knowledge, wisdom, right wisdom, and understanding that he has to give to the world, to all the
Right.
world of this generation.
Good night, everybody.
Now let's see how I get out of here. There we go.